Girls Source is proud to honor our 2005 Women of Achievement, Vision, and Excellence. After nearly 40 years as an innovator in the field of math education, Teri Perl's greatest joy continues to be igniting the flame of math confidence in today's young women. Teri Perl was born in Brooklyn, New York, to Jewish parents.
They were immigrants to this country. They were just trying to make their way. And the culture at that time was, kids, you take care of them and you love them, but you don't worry about them.
As an awkward teenager, Teri was compliant and shy.
That was the thing that I had to worry about most when I was growing up. I always kind of wanted to hide. I can remember trying to hide all the time I was in the classroom. People don't believe it now because I'm not shy anymore.
Despite her lack of confidence, she performed well in academic classes. Still, there were few hints of an obvious career path.
I was not terribly good in math, but at some point decided there was something wonderful about math. I didn't exactly know why, and certainly from what we were learning in school, I didn't know why. They sort of tell you the wrong things in school very often.
After getting her BA in economics from Brooklyn College, Teri married and had children. Her academic career went on hiatus for more than 2 decades as she focused on being a wife and a mom. When her children were grown, Teri went back to school for her MS at San Jose State. Then, when she began her PhD program in mathematics education at Stanford, she discovered her life's work. She became interested in why many girls stopped taking math electives in high school.
What we found was that it was something like perception of usefulness. If girls weren't planning to be doctors or scientists, they would just stop taking the math because they didn't need it.
Being a math instructor fueled Teri's interest in bettering math education for young women.
Elementary school, you're learning arithmetic all the time, and that's not mathematics. So when you get to algebra, unless you're prepared all the way through, it's a great shock, and a lot of kids get, knocked out at that point. And it doesn't need to be that way. So that was my interest in math education.
Teri met a woman who was developing math software for children. Together, the two founded the Learning Company, which produced groundbreaking software and books for kids.
We did some incredibly exciting things at the beginning. It was the beginning of the whole educational software thing. It was the beginning of the graphics user interface. We started kind of when Apple got started. It was really kind of great.
Building on her earlier PhD work, Teri focused more specifically on encouraging girls to explore math careers.
Girls coming into Berkeley didn't have the necessary math courses to be able to enroll in all kinds of majors. They were very, very limited. And a group of us math educators decided that we wanted to do something about it.
Teri joined forces with her colleagues to form the Math Science Network, a nonprofit that annually sponsors 90 math science conferences for girls around the country.
The workshops are led by women who work in math and science related fields, and so they act as role models as well as leading the workshops. So it's sort of to give the girls an idea and inspire them to consider these fields.
Once just a good idea, the Math Science Network is now a force for good in young women's lives.
When we started this whole thing 30 years ago, you could go into a math class, an upper division math class in a high school, and there'd be way more boys than girls. Now if you do that, there'll be as many girls as boys. So, here's something we knocked ourselves out with over the years, and we made a change. It's very exciting.
For a shy girl from Brooklyn, Teri has certainly shown some chutzpah.
I'm not very smart, and I'm not being modest when I say this, because I've known some very smart people, so I know the difference. But I'm kind of gutsy about things, and it seemed to me an awful lot of the things that I've done, I didn't know what I was doing, and I sort of, learned as I went along. So I think that's a very useful attribute.
Today, Teri's legacy will live on in the dozen math books she's written, including several focused on women mathematicians and their careers. Teri's own career success gives her the confidence to advise today's young women.
Be brave. You can take risks. Mostly don't be afraid.
Teri Perl, 2005 Wave Honoree.